All right. This afternoon we will have Dr. Yumiko Machinoshi. She is a researcher and educator specializing in industrial organizational psychology. She is also a faculty member in the Master of IO Psychology program at Psychological and Brain Sciences. She teaches courses on advanced statistics, work attitudes and motivations, psychometrics, and psychology of culture and diversity. Her research focuses on employee assessment, organizational survey design, and cultural influences on workplace behavior. Dr. Yumiko Mochinushi has actively integrated real-world applications, including the use of generative AI into her teaching, preparing students for careers in research and practice. Dr. Yumiko, feel free to start your presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending this session. And CTE staff, thank you so much for providing this wonderful opportunity to me. Today, I'm going to talk about transforming consulting project with generative AI. This is a presentation overview. The first, I briefly explain the background and purpose. And also, this assignment and project a bit complicated, so I provide briefly explanation of this assignment and the project. Then after that, I'll explain the outcomes educational significant I found during this project. Then also, students complete the post-project reflection surveys. So I want to share this result briefly with you. Then lastly, I talk about the future direction. So first one, the background and the purpose. There are two main reasons why I assigned this assignment to student. I designed this assignment for student. One, my student, industrial organizational psychology master student, they will become practitioner after graduation. Then mostly they'll get the position in HRM division or consultant position on the consulting firm. In those areas, organizations started to actively use generative AI. Then HRM department, they started to create AI policies for their employees. So some of my students, probably they are required to take part in this project, the project to establish generative AI policy. So I wanted to provide their basic knowledge of the AI, and also I wanted to provide opportunity to increase experience using generative AI in very real-world tasks. The other one is, this is the graduate school courses. Generative AI, this is a hot topic. So I believe all instructors are interested in the generative AI in education. So I actively took part in a wide variety of workshop sessions, conferences regarding the generative AI. But I found that the people there mostly talking about the undergraduate courses. The undergraduate course, graduate course, a bit different for learning objectives, learning goals. Probably graduate course, academic misconduct is less of the concern because their learning goal is enhance critical thinking or analytical skills. So I wanted to explore the optimal use of generative AI in the graduate school courses. Then, this is the assignment for PBSI 654. This is psychometrics and survey design in IO psychology. In this course, students were required to take part in consulting projects for real client organizations. Then, in this assignment, I required them to do 4 things. 1. They are required to use generative AI during the consulting project. Then any task is okay. They are freely able to determine when they will use generative AI, when they will not use generative AI. Then 2, they are required to document everything. They are required to record everything. So which task they use generative AI, or which AI model they used, or what prompt they used. They are required to record everything. Then also, when assign this project, I distributed this reflection worksheet to student. Then this is a worksheet to reflect use of the generative AI. Then, based on this, then they are required to complete this worksheet. Then also using this worksheet, they are required to analyze, for example, like this, the prompt creation effectiveness, or what is a good use of the generative AI, or what is a risk, what is a SCAR awareness. Oops, just on my voice. Then also based on this worksheet, this is a group project. So each team required to make a presentation. Then after that, students had a class-wide discussion about the effectiveness of the generative AI. Then, next consulting project. Then in this consulting project, this is a team project. So each team has a 6 students. Then in this course, there are 4 teams in total. Then each team was assigned a different client from real organization. So because their clients are different, so their required tasks are a bit slightly different. But all team required to do these tasks. They are required to design and create organizational survey depending on their client needs. Then after that, they conducted data collection in their client organization. Then analyze the data, interpret the result. Then they are required to write a technical report for their client. Then lastly, they are required to make a presentation to the client. Then this technical report is not only for data analysis result. In this report and also presentation, students were required to provide recommendation, suggestion to improve their client organization's issues or overall situations. Okay. Then this is the assignment process. From here, the assignment, but like this, I did the additional 2 steps before this assignment. The first one, I invited a guest speaker. Then actually this is before this course. So this course is a 4 semesters course, but this is the guest speaker presentation is April 2024. Then I joined the AI learning community provided by the CTE in summer 2024. But the decision made in the January 2024. So last year. Then after made a decision, I consider what I should do in the spring semester before this learning community. Then I observed the student. Then some students are not so interested in the generative AI. So I decided to invite the alumni working at a major consulting firm. Then I requested him to share real-world example of how AI is used in his work. Then he explained that he provided detailed information about the real example and also their AI policies. Then, because of this presentation, I believe that students are more encouraged to learn generative AI and consider the importance of generative AI. Then, for semester start. Then, before assigning this assignment, I provide lecture on the basis of the generative AI. That is this. Then, in this lecture, I provide those information, importance of the generative AI in organizations, basic feature of generative AI, or ethical consideration, or prompt engineering. Or also, this is this project. Their client are real organization, so I provide clear guidelines on what they should not do, what they should not do. So, for example, I strictly prohibit sharing the client information or survey data with generative AI tools outside of the university. So like the ChatGPT. And this is some PowerPoint slide from the lecture, like this. I provide a generative AI in the workplace, especially in our field, HRM or IO psychology. Or also, basic feature of the generative AI or ethical constellation like AI output may be biased or some AI sometimes provide hallucinations or like that. And also, I provide techniques for crafting the good prompt. Therefore, this, especially in the lecture, I use these videos. This is a very good videos. In the learning community in the summer, I was required to watch this video. Then I found that this is a very good videos to understand prompt engineering. Then also, I collect information about the correct prompt engineering from the other YouTube videos. Then there are tons of YouTube videos introducing their interesting or effective prompt engineering. Then I provide some example. This is one of the example. Then also during the lecture, they are required to engage in some activities to use a generative AI. Then go back. Then I assigned this consulting project. Then during the consulting project, they use a generative AI. Then end of the semester, that is November 2024, then student required to submit a worksheet or the student make a presentation about their generative AI use and class-wide discussion and post-project reflection survey. Okay. Then outcomes and educational significance. The first, this is the example of the tasks students use generative AI. They use generative AI creating, editing survey items or questions, or some students summarizing or organizing interview notes, or other students use generative AI to create some part of the technical report, like glossary table of technical terms, or tables summarizing the recommendation or API style references. This is an example. This is a real example, real technical report from a student, but no worries. I got the permission from student to share their report with other instructor here. Then, for example, this is a glossary of the terms. They created this using the generative AI. Or this is a summary of a recommendation table. Recommendation section, very long. Usually the page, 5 page or 7 page or like that. But in the end of the report, usually the student create this type of the table for their client. Then they use this table using the generative AI. Then here, actually, student added the client name, so I remove that. Or also other students, they use generative AI to refine their recommendation ideas. Or also another student use generative AI to search past research or relevant literatures. Okay. Then the positive outcomes I found during this assignment. First, their technical report quality drastically improved compared to past student. Drastically improved. Then this does not mean they use generative AI as a cheating tool. There are other reasons. For example, next one, enhance quality of student learning. The consulting project, they are required to do a lot of tasks. Some tasks are not so essential for learning. For example, like this, summarizing, organizing interview notes. This is an important task, but in terms of learning, not so important. Kind of mundane task. Then, students are able to reduce those mundane tasks by using AI. Then as a result, they are able to manage time more effectively. They are able to create more time to refine their ideas or report itself. And also, some students said that they are able to refine their ideas. They provide their idea to the generative AI. Then they are able to get the feedback from generative AI. What is the strengthness? What is the weakness of the ideas? Then in past, instead of the generative AI, I did that. But the student and also I have a limited time. So this time, students are able to use a generative AI, so they are able to more effectively use their time. As a result, their report quality drastically improved. And also, other students said that generative AI increases the peace of their mind. Graduate students, very busy. Of course, they need to complete their assignment from other courses. Then they say that some of students say that then go back to their home. Then I think that today I need to do this one. Very stressful, very strong pressure. But in this assignment, they say that I am able to do this generative AI. Then knowing this fact, knowing they are able to use a generative AI, this itself release their stress. And also, other students said that some students are not so have the working experience. As a result, their recommendation ideas, they don't have enough confidence in their recommendation ideas. So in such a situation, students feel hesitant to share their idea with their peers, while the student hesitant to include their idea in their report. But this time, they are able to get the feedback from generative AI before sharing their idea with their peers. So as a result, they are able to have a confidence in their idea. Then those students say that their generative AI reduce their anxiety. Or also, students more care about more consider the security or risk of the generative AI. Then I provide the lectures, but also they often ask the security and risk. They ask risk questions. So for example, this is not generative AI, but some students come to my office. Then they said that they are planning to use R. That is a statistical application. Then, but at that time they will use a organization their client data. So they worried about the security of the R. So like this, their security sense of the security improved. And also, some students they understand the university Copilot is safe, but still they contact Microsoft to ask the security question. Or also, they learn how to use a generative AI effectively. So like this, I provided this worksheet. But students are more motivated. Then as a result, this is a real, this is her, after that, they customized the worksheet. They created this report. This is one team's report, the worksheet. But other team, all team customized the worksheet and provide the report like that. So like this, can see the report include 14 pages. Then there, like this, they examine what is an effective prompt, or which task is more useful for generative AI and why, like this. Or also they added the information. They added the information about the things they found during the consulting project. So what is a risk, or what is a risk awareness? So like this, they effectively learned how to use a generative AI during this project. Then, in the end of the semester, some students come to my office again. Then they said that they are very confident in their approach to using the generative AI. Then they thought that they should have shared this knowledge with their client. Or also, I observed this. Student effectively demonstrate the ability to effectively distinguish AI models. Like if they are handling the sensitive data, information, they use University Copilot. If they need more creative ideas, they use a ChatGPT. And also, now they recognize the AI is not cheating, so this is just assistant tools. In this consulting project, I set some milestones. Then each milestones, students required to submit some worksheet or deliverables. Like, for example, before client interviews, they are required to complete interview preparation worksheet or survey items. After creating survey items, they need to submit survey items on Canvas. Then I will check the items like that. Then, in the beginning of the project, one team, they just copy the AI generated output in the worksheet. But AI doesn't know the client. So their output is a very general one. As a result, there is not poor interview questions. Then they got the low scores from me. And also I discussed with them. You guys provide this. But do you really think that this interview question is suitable for your client? Then they say no. Then they understand they need to customize, sophisticated based on their idea or knowledge. And also other students said that generative AI frequently provide double barrel items for survey items. This double barrel item is the one typical poor item. So they understand. Then now they understand. They need to improve or sophisticated based on their output from the AI. But also I found some negative outcomes. Some students feel stress, especially in their prompt engineering. They tried multiple times to get a good output from generative AI by changing that prompt. But still, generative AI provide a poor result. They feel stress at that time. Or sometimes they got the inaccurate output, like they asked AI to find academic reference, but the AI provide YouTube videos like that. And also, this is a bit different ones. Some students come to me, then they say that I found the quality of the output are different depending on the model of the AI. Then ChatGPT is best. But ChatGPT free version, they cannot, they are able to use the ChatGPT limited time, not fully utilize. Then if they want to use ChatGPT fully utilize the ChatGPT, they need to use paid version. But paid version, they say the person said that for me the paid version bit expensive. So bit I'm worried about in future student financial condition may affect student output. Then this is the reflection survey result, post-project reflection survey result. Then this result, 92% of the students answered. Then briefly explain that. Like this, most students were satisfied with this assignment. Very satisfied. Then also, through this project, they developed the confidence using the generative AI like this. One person still neutral, but this person before neutral and now after the neutral. Then also, this all people said that generative AI is useful to improve the quality of their work and also learning. All students said that AI going to enhance their learning experience. And all students said that AI is helpful, useful to connect theoretical concept and practical applications. Then this is their comment, but we have a limited times. And also I talk about this, so I will skip that, and also I skip that. Then this is the future direction. Most students provide positive feedback to me, like I love it, or I learned a lot. But some students provide constructive feedback to me, like need more guidance and guidance about how to write prompt. Then, based on this feedback, future direction, this fall semester, I will teach the same course again. Then I am planning to reassign the same assignment to the new student. Then again, I will examine the effectiveness of this assignment. But at that time, I will provide more resources on the prompt engineering. But also, there is no perfect prompt. So I will encourage them to do trial and error. Then lastly, the student completed this assignment. They graduated in December, so now they are working. So I am planning to follow up with a graduate to assess how this assignment project is a beneficial for their current professional work. Okay, thank you so much for your attention. If you have a question, yes, let's discuss about your question. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Yumiko, for presenting. I will stop the recording now.